I know you're going through some things right now, but I want you to hear me when I say this. Your trials will make you strong. I know the storm feels like it's never going to end, but let me remind you of something: rain doesn't last forever. It's in the hardest moments, when you're down to your last breath, that you discover just how powerful you truly are. It's not the easy times that build your character. No, it's the struggles. It's the moments where you feel like giving up, but something inside you says, not today. This journey you're on isn't meant to break you. It's meant to build you into the person you were destined to be. So let me speak life into you today. I declare that every trial you face is making you stronger. Every setback is preparing you for a comeback. Trials reveal your true strength. Trials have a way of stripping us down to our rawest form. They have the ability to shake us to our core, challenge everything we thought we knew, and force us into situations where we are left with no choice but to rely on something greater than ourselves. When we face hardship, we often feel broken, weak, and unsure of how we'll make it through. But what if I told you that it is in these very moments that you begin to uncover a strength you never knew existed? The truth is, trials reveal your true strength, not the strength you think you have, but the power that is deep within you, waiting for the right circumstances to show itself. When life is smooth sailing, we rarely get the chance to test the limits of our endurance. It's easy to believe that we are strong when everything is going according to plan. We go about our days with little resistance, checking off goals and feeling in control of our circumstances. But real strength doesn't emerge in times of ease. True strength is revealed when we are forced to confront the unexpected, when life throws us curveballs, when we are pushed to our breaking point. Think about the most difficult moments in your life. Reflect on the times when you faced challenges that seemed insurmountable, when you wondered if you could keep going. At that point, you might have felt overwhelmed, lost, or like you were on the verge of collapse. But somewhere in the midst of that struggle, something changed. Maybe it wasn't a sudden shift, but slowly, you began to notice a sense of resilience rising from within you. A determination to keep going, even when everything around you seemed to be falling apart. This is the moment when your true strength emerges. It doesn't always happen in a dramatic way. Sometimes it comes quietly, in the form of persistence, patience, and an unspoken resolve. It may not even be something you recognize at first, but the more you face challenges, the more you begin to understand that you have the ability to endure. The obstacles that once seemed impossible to overcome become stepping stones that build your character and sharpen your spirit. In fact, trials have a way of revealing strengths that we never knew we possessed. When we're faced with adversity, we often find ourselves digging deeper than we thought we could. We find reserves of strength, courage, and wisdom that had been buried beneath the surface. It's as if these trials act as a catalyst, pushing us to tap into a part of ourselves that we weren't even aware of. We discover that we are capable of handling more than we ever thought possible. Strength is not only physical. True strength goes far beyond muscles and endurance. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual. It's the ability to keep moving forward when you don't know what the next step looks like. It's the courage to face uncertainty and still keep your head high. It's the resilience to keep your faith, even when everything around you is shaking. Your strength is not just measured by how you perform when things are easy, but by how you stand when things get tough. Moreover, strength is not just about surviving trials, it's about growing through them. It's about learning from each hardship and coming out on the other side stronger, more capable than before. Each trial leaves behind lessons that shape us, teaching us how to approach the next challenge with a different perspective. We gain wisdom, patience, and a deeper understanding of who we are. The person who enters a trial may not be the same person who exits it. Through the fire we are refined, our weaknesses are revealed, and we are given the opportunity to build the strength we need to face whatever lies ahead. While trials can feel isolating, they also have the potential to connect us with others in powerful ways. When we go through difficult times, we are able to empathize with others in a way we couldn't before. We realize that we are not alone in our struggles and that our experiences can serve as a source of strength for those around us. Trials can unite us, helping us see that the strength we develop isn't just for our own benefit, it's also to help others who are walking similar paths. Every trial that comes into your life is not meant to defeat you, but to strengthen you. It's easy to feel as though you're being punished or abandoned during difficult times, but what if these challenges are actually opportunities in disguise? Opportunities to uncover parts of yourself you didn't know existed, to sharpen your character, and to grow into the person you are meant to be. Life's trials are not always easy, but they are never wasted. They are the furnace that refines the gold within you, the storm that strengthens your foundation, and the test that reveals your true strength. 2. Adversity refines your character. Adversity has a way of coming into our lives uninvited, often at the most inconvenient times. It doesn't give us a heads up or ask for permission, yet it's in these very moments of hardship that the true nature of our character is revealed and refined. Adversity doesn't just challenge our external circumstances, it challenges who we are at our core, pressing us to face parts of ourselves that we might have never seen before. It's through adversity that we learn who we truly are, and in many cases it's through adversity that we become the people we were always meant to be. At first glance, adversity can seem like nothing more than a roadblock, something that stands in the way of our progress and threatens our peace. It's easy to feel defeated where we encounter hardship. We wonder why things aren't going our way, why the world seems to be conspiring against us, and why we have to deal with such pain and struggle. But if we look deeper, we can see that adversity isn't meant to tear us down, it's meant to build us up, to challenge us to grow in ways that we wouldn't have been able to on our own. Character, after all, isn't formed in the easy moments, it's forged in the fire of adversity. I think about the strongest, most resilient people you know. They didn't get that way by avoiding difficulties. Their character was refined by the very struggles they faced. Each challenge they encountered forced them to dig deeper, to push harder, and to question who they were and what they stood for. It's the difficulties of life that shape us, shaping our integrity, our patience, our resolve, and our ability to rise above the circumstances that try to hold us down. Adversity is the furnace in which our character is tested and refined. In fact, adversity forces us to confront our weaknesses. It brings to the surface all the areas where we may be lacking, whether it's in our patience, our ability to handle pressure, or our faith in ourselves and in others. It exposes the cracks in our foundation and forces us to either confront them or allow them to remain. But if we face those cracks head on, we have the opportunity to fill them, to heal them, and to grow stronger. It's in those moments of discomfort when we feel the pressure mounting that we are given the chance to evolve. Adversity challenges us to transform our weaknesses into strengths, to turn our vulnerabilities into sources of resilience. Moreover, adversity teaches us the value of perseverance. When everything is going well, it's easy to feel confident in our ability to succeed. But when the road gets rough, when life throws us curveballs, it's in those moments that we truly discover our ability to keep going. Adversity teaches us that success is not always about how quickly we achieve our goals, but how steadfast we remain in the face of setbacks. The people who achieve the most are often not the ones who avoid obstacles, but the ones who keep moving forward despite them. The challenges we face teach us the art of perseverance, reminding us that the road to greatness is never straight or smooth. It's through the bumps, the detours, and the delays that we learn the most about ourselves. Adversity also teaches us humility. When things are going well, it's easy to become arrogant, to believe that we're in control and that we can handle life and life throws our way. But when adversity strikes, we're forced to admit that we are not invincible. We can't control everything, and we can't always predict what's going to happen. Adversity strips away our illusions of control and teaches us to rely on something greater than ourselves. It humbles us and reminds us that we are not the center of the universe, that we are part of a larger story, and that sometimes we need to lean on others for support. As we go through the trials of life, adversity also sharpens our empathy. When we experience pain, loss, or hardship, we become more attuned to the suffering of others. We begin to understand their struggles in a deeper way. We become more compassionate, more willing to extend a helping hand because we've walked through our own valleys. Adversity allows us to connect with others on a level we might not have been able to otherwise. It opens our eyes to the humanity in everyone we meet, and it teaches that we are all fighting battles, some visible, some hidden. In addition, adversity builds our emotional intelligence. It forces us to regulate our emotions in the face of stress, to manage our reactions, and develop the resilience to bounce back after failure. Adversity doesn't just teach us to survive, it teaches us how to thrive in difficult circumstances. It teaches us how to stay calm in chaos, how to find peace in the storm, and how to maintain a positive outlook even when everything around us seems bleak. These lessons are priceless because they are what help us navigate life with grace, dignity, and strength. When we look back on the times of adversity in our lives, we see that it wasn't the smooth, easy days that shaped us. It wasn't the times when everything went according to plan that defined us. It was the struggles, the hardships, and the moments of discomfort that pushed us to grow, to rise, and to become the people we are today. Adversity refines our character in ways that nothing else can. It strips us down to the essentials, forces us to confront our true selves, and challenges us to rise higher than we ever thought possible. It's through the fire that we are refined and purified, emerging stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing whatever comes next. Pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. Pain is something that no one willingly seeks out. It's uncomfortable, often overwhelming, and sometimes feels like it might never end. It's easy to get caught up in the intensity of the moment, to feel as though the pain will define us forever. But the truth is that pain is temporary. While the experience of pain can seem never-ending, its duration is finite. What stays with us long after the pain is gone is the growth we experience through it. Pain, while challenging, carries the potential to transform us, to shape us in ways that nothing else can. And that transformation, though painful at the time, is what lasts. In those moments when we are enduring hardship or suffering, it's natural to focus solely on the pain. Our bodies and minds are consumed with the discomfort, the hurt, and the overwhelming sense of being trapped in a moment that feels impossible to escape. In these times, we often forget that pain is not a permanent condition. It's a temporary phase, a season in our lives that will eventually pass. Time, as difficult as it may be to see in the midst of pain, will bring healing. Whether it's physical pain, emotional hurt, or mental exhaustion, pain is not something that will last forever. It comes and goes, ebbing and flowing like the tide. But what remains after pain subsides is the growth we gain from the experience. Pain has a way of stripping us down, forcing us to confront parts of ourselves we might otherwise ignore. It challenges us, not only to survive the moment, but to learn something about who we are and what we're capable of. Pain has the unique ability to push us past our limits, to stretch us beyond what we thought possible, and to test our strength and resilience. And in that testing we grow. We grow stronger, wiser, and more equipped to handle the challenges that lie ahead. Pain teaches us lessons that we might not have learned otherwise. When life is easy and everything goes according to plan, it's easy to take things for granted. We don't always learn the true depth of our strength when life is smooth. But when pain enters the picture, it forces us to tap into reservoirs of endurance and resilience that we never knew existed. It teaches us patience, empathy, and perseverance. It teaches us that we can endure far more than we ever thought we could. It shows us the power of our own spirit, the depth of our determination, and the potential for growth that lies within every painful experience. This growth is not something that happens instantly. It takes time, just like healing from physical injury. There are moments when we feel like we will never be the same, when the pain seems unrelenting. Yet, as time goes on, we begin to notice subtle changes. We start to realize that we are becoming more patient. We begin to appreciate the strength it took to get through the pain, and we start to recognize how the experience has shaped us into someone more capable and more grounded. Growth is also about perspective. In the midst of pain, it's easy to feel as though everything is falling apart, but pain has a way of offering clarity. It helps us reassess what is truly important. We gain a deeper understanding of our values, of what we want out of life, and of the kind of person we aspire to be. Pain shifts our priorities. It teaches us to let go of the things that don't matter, to focus on what's truly significant, and to invest in our own personal development. What begins as a painful experience eventually leads to a profound transformation in how we approach life. Moreover, growth through pain is often the key to unlocking our potential. It forces us to confront our weaknesses, to address the fears and insecurities we've been avoiding, and to develop the strength to move forward. Pain exposes the areas in our lives that need attention, and in doing so, it challenges us to rise to the occasion. Each time we overcome an obstacle, face a challenge, or recover from a setback, we become more equipped to handle whatever comes next. We build resilience, learn new skills, and become more adaptable to change. Pain, in essence, pushes us to evolve. The growth we experience from pain is also permanent because it fundamentally alters the way we see ourselves in the world around us. We are never the same after we've been through something difficult. The person we were before the pain and the person we become after are different. While we may have scars, emotional or otherwise, those scars represent our growth. They show that we've been through something, we've endured, and we've come out the other side stronger. It's these scars that become part of our story, part of the strength we carry with us throughout life. In many ways, the permanent nature of growth is what makes pain worthwhile. Without it, we would never reach our full potential. Without the trials and the hardships, we would never truly understand how resilient we are. Without pain, we would never experience the transformation that comes from overcoming adversity. The journey through pain is what teaches us who we are, what we're capable of, and how much we can grow. We may not always choose pain, but we can choose how we respond to it. And when we choose to learn and grow from our pain, that growth becomes a permanent part of us. 4 setbacks set the stage for comebacks. Setbacks are often seen as obstacles, unwanted detours that throw us off course and disrupt the path we've carefully laid out for ourselves. They can feel like failures, moments of defeat that shake our confidence and leave us questioning our ability to succeed. In those moments, it's easy to feel discouraged, as though everything we've worked for has come crashing down. Yet the truth is that setbacks are not the end of our story. They are often the very stage that sets us up for a comeback, a triumphant return that is far more powerful than anything we could have achieved without experiencing those setbacks. When we encounter a setback, it feels like we've been thrown off track. We may have worked hard for something, invested time and energy, only to see it slip through our fingers. The disappointment can be overwhelming, and the temptation to give up can be strong. We might feel like we've lost ground, or that the dream we've been chasing is slipping further away. But what if this setback is not a sign that we're failing, but a signal that we are on the cusp of something even greater? What if this moment is not the end, but the beginning of a comeback that will lead to success beyond what we initially imagined? A setback at its core is a pause. It's a moment where life forces us to step back, reassess, and regroup. It's in these moments of pause that we often discover our true potential. Setbacks make us stop and reflect, giving us the opportunity to evaluate what went wrong, what can be improved, and what we need to do differently. They force us to become more strategic, more focused, and more intentional about our next steps. In many ways, setbacks act as a powerful teacher, guiding us toward a better, more refined version of ourselves. This pause can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is precisely in these moments that we find the strength to rise again. A setback allows us to gather new information, to see things from a different perspective, and to adapt in ways we might not have if we hadn't faced adversity. It forces us to be creative, to find solutions we might not have considered, and to dig deeper than we ever thought possible. The lessons we learn during a setback are often the very lessons that prepare us for a greater comeback. Without these lessons, we might have rushed into our next endeavor unprepared, only to face failure once again. But with the knowledge gained from overcoming a setback, we are far more likely to succeed in the long run. The comeback, however, is not just about bouncing back to where we were before the setback. It's about coming back stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. When we face a setback and choose to persevere, we're not simply returning to square one. We're building on the lessons learned, the strength gained, and the growth achieved during our time of pause. A setback isn't just an opportunity to return to what we lost. It's an opportunity to go beyond it, to reach new heights that we might not have reached if we hadn't encountered that setback in the first place. It is through setbacks that we often discover new abilities, new passions, and new strengths that we didn't know existed within us. Many of the greatest success stories are born from setbacks. The stories of people who faced incredible challenges, who were knocked down but refused to stay down. They are the stories of athletes who were injured but came back to win championships, entrepreneurs who faced failure but built successful businesses from the ground up, and individuals who experienced personal loss but found new purpose and direction in their lives. These individuals didn't see their setbacks as failures. They saw them as opportunities for growth and a chance to prove to themselves and the world that they had the strength to rise again. What makes a comeback so powerful is the strength it takes to overcome the adversity. It is in the act of rising from a setback that we prove our resilience, determination, and commitment to our goals. Setbacks may knock us down, but they don't have the power to define us unless we allow them to. The way we respond to setbacks is what truly matters. It is our decision to rise, to learn, and to keep moving forward that sets the stage for our greatest successes. The process of coming back after a setback requires patience and persistence. It is not always immediate, and it is rarely easy. The road to recovery can be long, and there may be moments when we question whether it's worth the effort. But the greatest comebacks are not achieved by simply avoiding setbacks. They are achieved by pushing through them, learning from them, and using them as stepping stones towards something greater. Every setback we face is a building block that strengthens our foundation for the future. Each one is a reminder that we are capable of overcoming obstacles and that we have the power to create the outcome we desire, no matter how many times we are knocked down. The stage for a comeback is set when we decide that failure is not an option. It's set when we choose to rise from the ashes of disappointment, to transform our setbacks into stepping stones, and to use them as fuel for our next move. The comeback is not just about reclaiming what was lost. It's about coming back stronger, more capable, and more prepared to handle whatever comes next. The setbacks we face today are the fuel that will propel us to even greater heights tomorrow. And when we look back on our journey, we will see that those setbacks were not obstacles. They were the very thing that made our comeback possible. Faith is tested in the fire of challenges. Faith is often seen as something we hold deeply, something that gives us hope and direction in life. But it is only when we face challenges that we truly understand the depth and strength of our faith. Challenges, trials, and difficulties are the fire that tests our faith. They push us beyond our limits, shake our foundations, and make us question everything we thought we knew. But in this very testing, our faith is either refined or weakened, depending on how we choose to respond. It is through the fire of challenges that we discover what we truly believe, what we are willing to stand for, and whether our faith is strong enough to carry us through life's most difficult moments. When life is easy, when everything is going according to plan, it's easy to have faith. It's easy to believe that everything will work out, that the future is bright, and that we are invincible. But true faith isn't about how we respond when things are going well. It's about how we react when things fall apart, when the storm clouds gather, and when everything we hold dear seems to be slipping through our fingers. It is in these moments of crisis when we are faced with pain, loss, or uncertainty that our faith is tested. Faith is not just a belief in something, it is a trust, a deep conviction that no matter what happens, we will be okay. It is a belief that even in the darkest times, there is a greater purpose at work, a divine plan unfolding that we may not fully understand but can trust nonetheless. And yet when challenges arise, we often struggle to hold on to that faith. We question why we're facing such hardship, why life is so difficult, and whether we're truly being supported or abandoned. The fire of challenges can cause doubt to creep in, and for a moment it can feel as though our faith is slipping away. But it is in these very moments of doubt and fear that our faith has the opportunity to grow stronger. Just as a piece of metal is refined in the heat of a furnace, our faith is tested and purified through life's challenges. The fire does not destroy the metal, it strengthens it, removes the impurities, and makes it more valuable. Similarly, the trials and challenges we face do not weaken our faith, they refine it, purify it, and deepen it. Through the heat of adversity, we learn to trust more fully, to lean on our faith in ways we never could have when life was easy. It's easy to believe in something when everything is going well, but it is only when we are pushed to the edge, when we feel like we cannot go on, that we truly see whether our faith is rooted in something deeper than circumstance. When we face challenges, we are forced to confront the very core of our beliefs. We must decide whether we will let the hardships break us or whether we will allow them to strengthen our resolve. The choice is ours. We can either walk away from our faith, allowing the challenges to convince us that it's not worth holding on to, or we can embrace the fire, allowing it to refine and purify our trust in something greater than ourselves. One of the most profound aspects of faith is its ability to carry us through difficult times. It doesn't mean that life will be without struggle or pain, but it does mean that we are not alone in the midst of our trials. Faith provides a sense of hope, a belief that things will get better, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even when we can't see it yet. In the midst of challenges, when everything seems uncertain and the path forward is unclear, faith becomes the anchor that keeps us steady. It's the belief that no matter how difficult the journey may be, we are not walking it alone. Sometimes when we are in the fire, it can feel like we are being consumed, like the heat of the challenges is too much to bear. But this is where faith truly shines. It is during the hardest trials that we have the chance to experience faith at its deepest level. It's when we feel the most overwhelmed that we can choose to let go and trust that there is a higher power at work, one that is bigger than our current circumstances. Faith doesn't promise that we will never face hardship. It promises that we won't face it alone, and that there is purpose even in our suffering. Faith is also about endurance. It's not just about believing in the good times, but about holding on to that belief even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Faith is the strength to keep going when you don't know how much longer you can endure. It's the courage to keep putting one foot in front of the other, trusting that the journey is worth it, even if you can't see the end. In this way, faith is not just a passive belief, it's an active force that drives us forward, even when the road is hard and the future is uncertain. In the fire of challenges, faith grows deeper. It stretches us, challenges us, and shapes us into people who are stronger, wiser, and more grounded. It forces us to confront the parts of ourselves that need healing and growth, and it teaches us how to trust not just in ourselves, but in something greater than ourselves. Through the fire, we are purified, and our faith is transformed into something that is unshakable, something that can carry us through any trial, no matter how fierce. Faith is tested in the fire of challenges, and it is through that testing that it becomes stronger, more resilient, and more powerful than ever before. 6, you are stronger than you realize. There are moments in life when you face obstacles so big that they seem impossible to overcome. Times when you feel like the weight of the world is bearing down on you and you wonder if you're truly capable of handling what's in front of you. You question your strength, your abilities, and your worth. You look at the challenges ahead and wonder if you have what it takes to push through. It's easy to feel small in those moments, to feel like you're not strong enough to handle everything that life throws your way. But the truth is, you are stronger than you realize. The strength that you possess is far greater than what you often give yourself credit for. We all go through times when we feel like we are at our breaking point. The challenges we face can make us doubt ourselves, and the tough situations we find ourselves in can seem insurmountable. But there is a resilience deep within you that you may not even be aware of. Often it takes facing adversity to realize just how strong we are. It is in these moments of struggle that you uncover hidden reservoirs of strength that you didn't know you had. You discover just how much courage you are capable of and how much you are willing to fight for the things that matter most to you. The strength you have inside is not always obvious. It's not something that is always on display, waiting to be noticed. Often it's something that you don't even recognize in yourself until it's needed most. Strength doesn't always look like the loud, confident person who appears to have it all together. Sometimes it's quiet. It's the ability to keep going even when you're exhausted, when you're feeling defeated. It's the courage to get up each day and face whatever challenges come your way, even when you don't feel like you have the energy or the willpower to do so. Strength is the perseverance that pushes you forward, even when the road ahead seems impossible. What makes you stronger than you realize is your ability to keep going in the face of adversity. Life isn't always easy, and it often throws curveballs when you least expect them. The true test of strength is not how you respond when everything is going perfectly, but how you respond when everything seems to be falling apart. Your strength is measured by your ability to face hardship, to embrace challenges, and to rise above them. It's about resilience, the ability to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing your sense of self. You may not always feel like you're capable of overcoming the obstacles in your life, but the fact that you continue to move forward even when it feels impossible is a testament to your strength. Sometimes you may not even realize how strong you are because you've been through so much already. It's easy to forget the battles you've fought, the times you've overcome difficulties, and the moments when you've triumphed over adversity. Every challenge you've faced in your life has shaped you, strengthened you, and prepared you for the challenges ahead. You've already proven your strength time and time again if you haven't always recognized it. Think about the times when you thought you couldn't go any further, but somehow you did. Think about the moments when you thought you couldn't survive the pain, the heartache, or the struggles, but here you are today. That's your strength. The fact that you've made it this far proves that you are stronger than you realize. You may look at others and compare yourself, wondering why they seem to handle life's difficulties so easily, but the truth is, everyone has their own battles. The people you admire for their strength have faced their own challenges, and like you, they had to dig deep to find the strength to keep going. Your strength might not always look the same as someone else's, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. Your unique experiences, your journey, and the way you handle adversity all contribute to the incredible strength that you possess. The fact that you've made it this far, that you continue to push forward despite the difficulties, shows just how resilient and strong you truly are. Strength isn't just about physical endurance, it's also about emotional strength, mental toughness, and the inner resolve to keep going even when everything within you is telling you to stop. It's about being able to face your fears, to confront your insecurities, and to continue moving forward even when it feels like everything is against you. It's about believing in yourself even when no one else does. You have a deep well of strength that has carried you through everything you've been through, and it will continue to carry you through whatever challenges lie ahead. Life will always throw challenges your way, and there will be times when you feel like giving up. But in those moments, remember that you are stronger than you realize. You have already proven it to yourself time and time again. When things get tough, look back at everything you've already overcome and know that you have everything within you to continue moving forward. Your strength is not something you have to find, it's already inside of you, waiting to be called upon. Trust in your ability to face whatever comes your way because you are far stronger than you can even imagine. It's easy to underestimate your strength, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed or defeated. But remember this, the very fact that you've made it through the tough times before, that you've endured and continued on, proves that you are capable of facing whatever challenges lie ahead. You may not always feel like you're strong, but when the going gets tough, you will find that strength within yourself. You have the power to rise above, to overcome, and to grow stronger with every challenge you face. You are stronger than you realize.